get started. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me this afternoon. My name is Megan Knapik. I work for Principal Financial Group. I came from Minneapolis to tell you guys about the voluntary short-term disability offering that Bethany St. Joseph is making available for all of the employees starting April 1st, 2017. So that being said, just to give you a little bit of background on me, I am a salaried employee. I've worked for Principal for 10 years. My territory is Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and the North and South Dakota. This is what I do is I go out to companies and talk about insurance benefits, and I let employees know how it works. I tell them how much it costs, help them enroll, and really answer any questions. So I'm here for you, no pressure. This is a laid-back sort of presentation, but that is really what I'm here to do, is inform you about this benefit, to give you as much information as you can to make a decision about whether you want to enroll in the benefit or not. So each of you have a booklet here. It's got a summary of the short-term disability in here, as well as some other informational pieces. Also includes a rate grid to show you what the costs to enroll in the short-term disability is. But before I even open this up and get started, I'm going to ask you a little question. It's kind of a little survey. There's no right or wrong answers, but it's just some food for thought to kind of get you in the mindset of what disability insurance is. So I'm going to list 4 things, and if you would, in your mind, rank these 4 things in order of importance. So these 4 things, rank them in order of importance: your home, your health, your car, and your income. Home, health, car, income. I've been asking this question for years and I always get different answers, but what do you think the most popular answer is? The most important thing out of those 4?
Health.
Health, very good. What do you think the second most popular answer is?
Income.
Right. You'd be surprised how many people I'll hear say car or motorcycle though. Those are the exceptions, not the rule. Yeah, your health and your income are the 2 most important things out of those very vital necessities in your life. So you probably have some sort of medical insurance, right? And if you're a homeowner, you probably have some sort of homeowner's insurance. And if you're a driver, I hope you have some sort of auto insurance. But what about your income? What insures that? That's what disability insurance is. It's income insurance. Your ability to come to work, to come here to your place of employment and earn a paycheck is your most important asset. So if you get injured due to who knows what kind of circumstances, or if you have an illness, a significant illness that keeps you laid up for longer than 2 weeks so that you can't come to work and earn your paycheck, collect your paycheck, do you keep paying your daily living expenses, let alone some longer financial obligations? That's what disability insurance is. It's protection for your income. If you turn inside the first page, my cover is falling off, you'll see a little statistic down there. It's not a scare tactic, but again, some more information, some food for thought. It says that nearly 90% of disabling accidents and illnesses are not work-related and would not be covered by workers' comp. So that's something to keep in mind with this short-term disability. That is off-the-job coverage. When you're not at work and an illness or injury keeps you from coming to work, disability insurance can boost your financial safety net by replacing a portion of your income if an accident or illness leaves you unable to work. Okay? Now, turning ahead, I'm not going to go through line by line, but I will just guide you through via the page number in the bottom right-hand corner. If you turn to page 9, you'll come upon the enrollment form. This is important. This enrollment form is how you're going to enroll in the short-term disability coverage. We do need a form completed by everyone and turned in by Friday, March 31st. Please complete the form and turn it into HR by Friday, March 31st. So you've got some time. And I'm actually going to come back to the enrollment form because I need to tell you more about the coverage before you can make a decision whether you want to enroll in the coverage or waive it. But that enrollment form is how you're going to do it. So go ahead and turn towards page 13. This page here is one of those informational pieces that I mentioned. This is a tool to help you determine how much disability insurance you need. The disability insurance replaces a portion of your income. And with this plan, you can purchase in increments from a minimum of $100 to a maximum of 60% of your weekly salary. I'll come back to that. There's an example at the bottom of the page if you're interested in seeing how that benefit could be paid out for an employee. But if you turn to the back side of that page, page 14, that tool there is something to help you determine how much disability insurance you need. Because everyone's needs are different depending upon their age, their dependent status, whether they have a spouse, whether they have children, whether those children are young or college age, and it also depends on your financial obligations. This tool here can help you determine how much disability insurance you need. So then across from that, and you're looking at page 15, you've come upon the voluntary short-term disability summary. So the short-term disability policy, if you choose to enroll, effective April 1st, 2017, you would begin receiving a weekly benefit of the you would be eligible to start receiving the short-term benefit if you qualify, a weekly benefit of your choosing. The benefit you can choose in increments of $50. The minimum benefit that you can elect is a $100 weekly benefit. The maximum weekly benefit that you can elect is 60% of your weekly salary. I'll come back to that. The rate grid in a couple of pages will help illustrate that a little bit more, as well as show you the costs. But first, if you go down kind of through each of the dark bars of the benefit summary, those are some more important details. Like the benefit qualification. So there is an elimination period depending upon whether your disability is due to an accident or illness. The elimination period is 2 weeks. So however you become disabled, once you qualify, you would have to go for 2 weeks, at which point when you're enrolled in the coverage, then you would begin receiving your weekly benefit that you elected. Okay? And the short-term benefit will pay out for a maximum benefit payment period of 24 weeks, or approximately 6 months in combination with the elimination period. I'm going to come back to the additional benefits and limitations and exclusions, but go ahead and turn to page 19 so we can look at a little bit more about how this benefit works. So this shows the bi-weekly cost to enroll in the coverage. The benefit cost depends upon a couple of things. Your age presently, or the age at which you become disabled. So you find the age band that you fall into across the top. And the next thing it's dependent upon is the benefit increment that you choose to elect. You can find that along the left-hand side. Keep in mind, however, the maximum benefit that you can elect is dependent upon 60% of your weekly salary. To kind of get an idea of what that means, look at the second column. That second column shows you what your minimum annual salary must be in order to elect that benefit, up to that maximum benefit. Okay? So for example, if you make about $40,000 per year, you would be eligible to elect up to a maximum of a $450 weekly benefit. You can elect any of the increments in $50 increments below that, or above it in this case, from $100 to $450. But the second column there shows you at what minimum annual salary you must qualify in order to elect for the benefit before it. Okay?
I just have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
So is it based on what your hourly wage is for the whole year? So like if you like took time off unpaid, or you had to cut hours and aren't making as much as you could, you know?
I talked to my colleague who was at a couple of the other locations prior to today with Dawn, and they determined that it is going to be based on your W-2 from the prior year.
Okay.
So if anybody hasn't worked for a full year yet, or somebody say they've only been working for 3 months, then we would estimate it based on, say, months 1 through 3, we would annualize that. But essentially for everyone else, it's their W-2 1-year average. Okay. Okay, does anybody have Any questions about how to figure out what the maximum benefit they could elect up to?
I just have a question on this benefit amount on that column, is that per week?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Very good question, thank you, yes. The short-term disability benefit is a weekly benefit, so keep that in mind. What you're looking at electing here is a weekly benefit. However, the cost, when you cross that row in that column, wherever your age band falls, that is a bi-weekly cost. So that is a per paycheck deduction. Weekly benefit, but a per paycheck deduction, a bi-weekly deduction. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to round out the rest of the benefit summary about some additional benefits and limitations back on page 15. So the additional benefits I'll mention, there is a rehabilitation incentive included, which says that if you participate in a rehabilitation program, you're eligible to receive possibly a 5% increase in your weekly benefit. There's also a survivor benefit included, which says that if you were to pass away while you were out on disability, receiving the short-term benefit, your survivor would receive a 3 weeks times, 3 times your annual or your weekly benefit that you elected. Sorry. Okay. And then down at the bottom though, there's the pre-existing condition limitation. So that's a standard part of disability plans. So most often we see it applied to someone who's already pregnant. But what the pre-existing condition limitation says that on April 1st, when the coverage is effective, you have to be covered for the first 12 months before the disability will pay out for a prior condition you've been treated for, seen a doctor, or taken a medication in the 3 months prior to April 1st. Okay, so typically if someone's already pregnant and they do not get to collect a short-term disability if they have the baby in the first year. So that being said, it would apply for any other newly diagnosed condition or injury or illness. So from April 1st on, they're covered. It's just for any prior condition that's already been treated in just the 3 months prior to April 1st, 2017, do they have to be covered for 12 months before the benefit would pay out for going out on that disability. Okay? And the same sort of condition limitation would apply for new hires, like whatever their hire date is, that is their open enrollment period, but whenever the effective date is that they've signed up for coverage within 30 days of their eligibility, we would look back on 3 months prior to when they were effective for a prior condition, if they go out on disability in the first year.
So just to clarify, if you're diagnosed with a condition as of May 1st when you elect this coverage, April 1st it's a condition you've never been treated for, your only elimination period is the 2 weeks. Okay.
You've got it, yep. Yeah, so just to clarify what Marissa said, so if you were on May 1st of 2017 diagnosed with, say, a heart condition and you needed to start taking some sort of medication, but you'd never been treated, the doctor had never mentioned, you had no prior history in the 3 months prior, and we only look back as far as those 3 months. So, honestly, like if we're only looking back as far as 3 months, so if like 6 months or maybe 4 years ago, you might have had some sort of something, but you've been free and clear in just the 3 months we're looking back, you would be eligible to receive the short-term disability benefit. Okay? Let's see. Oh, okay, so the last couple of things in here, turn to page 23. You have this little freebie that comes along with the short-term disability if you sign up for it. It's a free and confidential employee assistance program provided through a third party, through Magellan Health Services. It's a good telephonic resource that you and your family members can use if the needs arise. Any of these bulleted point items on page 23. And again, it's a free and confidential thing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can reach out for them for telephonic assistance with these items. You and or family members, and principal will never know that you reached out to them, and Bethany St. Joseph will never know that you reached out to them. So good tool to be aware of, keep in your back pocket if you sign up for the short-term disability too. Okay, now back to page, is it 9 for the enrollment form? So something special about this enrollment form here during this time between now and when you have to turn it in on March 31st is that to sign up for the short-term disability coverage, this is the only piece of paper that we need. Since this is a voluntary coverage, you could decline it at this time. However, it would no longer be open enrollment in the future if you just wanted to, if something changed and you wanted to pick it up or you wanted to sign it up in the future. What you would have to do is complete a health statement and prove that you're in good health, and you could be declined coverage. So since it's a new offering, that means that we've like pre-approved everybody to be able to sign up for coverage without having to prove that they're in good health. You have the elimination period, the 2-week elimination period, and you have the pre-existing condition limitation. Those are all normal parts of disability insurance, but the big emphasis on your opportunity now is that it's the one-time open enrollment that you can enroll in coverage without having to answer health questions. If you're young and in relatively good health and you don't think it'll be an issue at any point in the future if you wanted to decline it now or something, then that's a risk you would have to take because you could still be declined coverage for even trying to sign up for like the minimum of the $100 weekly benefit. But so that's the nice thing about now is being able to sign up without having to complete a health statement, and you could terminate the coverage at any time if you decided it wasn't worth your while to continue paying for it. Mm-hmm.
What type of health conditions would disqualify for somebody from being eligible?
Well, so for starters, the health statement itself asks your height, your weight, your smoker status, and then whether you and or any family members in the past 5 years have been treated for like diabetes, hypertension, depression, substance abuse, high cholesterol, any of these things could, you could be declined the coverage. Yes?
If you elect to take the coverage at a $600 level,
Mhm.
can you up that or lower that at any point in time?
That's a very good question. So, so if you elect up to 600, but say you're actually eligible to, based on your salary, you were eligible to elect up to 800, and you wanted to do that, like at some point in the future, you could, but you would have to complete a health statement.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that was a really good question. So, yeah, only during this initial enrollment can you enroll up to the maximum that you qualify for with no health questions asked. You could enroll in any amount in the future at that time. You would just be required to complete a health statement as well. So, and you run the risk of being declined, depending on how those answers are. Okay?
I have a question on that.
Sure.
If you do that and you get declined to go up to like the $800, like she said, do you still get covered at the $600?
Yes, you would go back to what you were already qualified for or what you were already approved for, yes, initially at signing up. Good question. Okay, so the enrollment form itself, if you're enrolling at this time or declining at this time, again, since the open enrollment is only qualify now without completing a health statement, we do need everyone to either complete this by signing it or waiving it because we need proof that you're waiving it at this time without the health statement. But that being said, we need your information, everything about you, captured up at the top. If you're declining it, we don't need all of your information up here if you're waiving it. We would just need, say, your name, social, and date of birth. But if you're enrolling in coverage, please do complete that as much as possible. If you don't know your date of hire, I'm guessing HR probably has that. But then down here for the election, you're going to make elect or decline, and if you're electing, you're going to write in the increment of $50 that you would like. Okay? So from the minimum of 100 up to whatever your weekly, 60% of your weekly income would be. You would write the increment of 50 that you qualify for, or that you want to elect. If declining coverage, you can give us a reason, check one of those boxes, or even if it's just the other box and saying don't want, we need evidence of that because this is the only enrollment you can do it without having to complete that health statement. Okay. And then lastly would be to sign and date the back side of that page. And then it doesn't look like it's very easy, but you can just rip these out, and that's what you'll need to do once you've made your decision and are ready to turn it into HR by Friday, March 31st. Okay. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Yes. Melissa?
So on page 15, where you have the benefit qualification portion,
Yes.
where it says under maternity treated the same as any other disability, so there is not just a 6-week benefit, or?
It's typically what the doctor says, but standardly, it's a 6-week benefit for natural and 8-week benefit for C-section.
Okay, so it goes on based on what your doctor said.
Correct.
So then so like if he or she would say it's a 6-week benefit, you have the 2-week elimination period, so then you get 4 weeks of the payment.
4 weeks of payment, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
You got it. Yep. Okay, any other questions? That's really the majority of information I have to give you. I appreciate you taking the time to come here. If you'd like to ask me something one-on-one, or if you think of something between now and when you have to turn in your enrollment form, I've got Dawn's information, and HR, we're in contact pretty much daily, and we will be in from now until when your coverage is effective and beyond. So if you take this home and read through it a little more, read in between the lines and have questions, please let your HR team know, and we'll get you the answers that you need. Okay?
I do have a question on the enrollment form.
Yes.
Up at the top, it says account number or unit number, is that?
You don't need to worry about that. That's for us on once we get them back in. Thank you.
Okay.
The pre-existing,
Yep.
the 3 month prior, does that even, because you gotta be 12 months insured, so what does the 3 months prior mean?
The 3 months prior means that, so if you, in the first 12 months, if you go out on disability, we're gonna look back 3 months prior to the effective date to see if that disability, if you were already treated for that disability in the 3 months prior, and if you have been, you don't get to receive the short-term disability benefit.
Even in the 12 months, you do not.
And not in the first
After
12
that?
months. After you've been on the plan for 12 months, if you go out on disability, you've already been covered for 12 months, so we're not even looking back. You're good to go. You're eligible to receive the disability benefit
Okay.
if you qualify, based on what the doctor says. Okay? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you all. I appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
I'll be over here.